Hello guys, welcome back to another Lumley trading video. In this one we're going to be doing our day trading recap for the 12th of September. So to get straight into it, we'll pull up the Discord and show you what we were looking at. So 20 minutes before the market open, we have a range on the Qs and we had a range on the SPY. This is 469.71 to 468.97 on the Qs, and then over on the SPY we had 556 to 554.87. So with ranges, as we always go through these in videos, we expect these to get filled. So if we're looking over on Qs, what do we have? Range from low to high. We expect this to get completely filled. So we come here, we push away. These can be nice entries to grab longs to fill that range. Now, how do we get entry? Because if you're buying here or here, you're more kind of just buying blind. So what were reasons to enter? And the way I had reasons to enter on this is you definitely sacrifice some gains by not buying the kind of bottom of the knives, but it was kind of waiting for a retest of our news low. You get your pullback, and it was seeing how we kind of react to this fib. Are we going to break down and crack into a new low, or are we going to hold the MACD cross? Are we going to hold the MACD strength? Are we going to kind of hold and push up on the RSI? So we're kind of watching all of that and starting to kind of build a bias, and it seemed, obviously we kind of got this quick pop here, so to me this wasn't a bad entry. You kind of just place a stop now at the low, and you can run the options in to fill the range. So that's how we traded that over on the Qs. Then again, we also did talk about the range on SPY, so we'll quickly go over the range on SPY, and then we'll go over the news levels and how we use those. So going over to the SPY trades, again, range low, range high, we expect this all to get filled. So again, this isn't really providing us enough amount of upside, so we don't even pay attention to this 161. No reasons to enter. We do this new pop low, but what you can see here is we are at a low on the RSI, we're at a low on the MACD. So to me, there is no kind of reasons to enter. You know, your momentum isn't showing you that you're doing this any weaker, so we could have definitely continued lower. So with this, again, you can sometimes get a starter contract. Normally we'll get one contract from the 261 just to get a low average, because a lot of times you will get a pop at a minimum. So again, one kind of contract, one small contract there, but then really we want confirmation before we get proper entry. And how do we get this confirmation? Firstly, you kind of get the MACD crossover here. MACD's flipping green. And then also you can be watching the RSI. In this case, RSI didn't really give us enough time because it took too long to flip positive. But again, we did start getting confirmation over on the MACD. MACD flipped green. We had the MACD bullish cross. And that was kind of the reason as well. And then basically this consolidation really helps for entry, because you're just flipping back and hit forward here. Again, stops at low. You grab the calls kind of roughly in this area here. Stops at lows, and again, if we stop down, then call, you stop out and you wait for a new entry lower down. And in this case, where it runs up, you're targeting the higher range. Worked out perfectly. Now, we did talk about, we also have news today. So high and lows is our over under level for today. So again, we talked about this yesterday with the CPI. Over under just means if you're below this level, you are bearish. If you're above the higher line, you are bullish. Now, what you can normally do as well, when you're trading within the range, you can normally look to trade within. So if you break above, you test it as a support, expect a move to the top. And the same if you're testing the top, you're pulling back, you retest, again, good chance that you come all the way down to the bottom of the box. That tends to be how we trade the box, but really the easiest and cleanest trades are normally going to be outside the boxes and trading in direction against them. So we went through that, and again you can see how today played out. And SPY was really the clean one, or S&P, depending whichever. I mean, what the ES futures, whatever one you're trading, and I'll show you exactly why this provided perfect entry. So it's in range, that doesn't matter, but this 100 line, again, that's going to be the news 5-minute candle box. So that is the 5-minute news box. Now markets open, we pop up to this level, and what's happening here on the RSI, you're retesting the 50 line. Great confirmation, we're below the 0 line, and we have also recently had a MACD cross. So bearish, 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 resistance. So really everything is lining up, but with a low risk short. Again, if it does pop up, we can always stop out, not the end of the world. Again, maybe run a stop above either this 100 moving average or above kind of this golden pocket, depending on how much you want to risk. But overall, really, it kind of hits this to the penny. You're testing RSI 50, which again is normally going to be enough confirmation alone to enter, and then you're also below the 0 line on the MACD. And again, MACD is showing to be very weak, so overall really good confirmation to enter short of the retest of this. And again, provided a nice first target at the 161, second target at the 261. Great trade to the downside, should have been really easy. Now if we go over to the QQQs, I didn't focus on this one too much because it was nowhere near as clean. And again, you can see kind of the MACD is a bit, the RSI is a bit more of a mess. It's kind of just chilling on the 50 line. Again, much closer to the 0 line on the MACD. It's all kind of over the place. RSI is all over the place. Price kind of just chopping here and kind of not following this level anywhere near as clean, but that's probably because we opened a bit more on it. So overall, SPY was the cleaner one, and you can kind of tell that from the open, from how we're reacting. Because even if you're looking over at SPY, again, we hit it twice. You hit it here and here. You saw the perfect reaction off there. You can look to retrade it there. Again, stops at highs. Easy peasy. So we can look at that. But again, overall, either one would have worked out fine. But the SPY was definitely the nicer trade. And again, you could tell that from how the indicators were moving. Also, we were just talking about the anchor view apps. So these are anchor view apps created yesterday. You expect these to catch up. We had some to the upside, so you expect these to get tapped before doing that downside move. Or again, you tap these downside ones and then you get your bounce. We did update these kind of as we went, but I can just pull these up real quick just to show you how these react. Again, we don't really use these as our main thing, but they just added confluence. So you can see upside one's been hit, downside one's been hit, great. Again, upside one's been hit, these downside ones have been hit. That was kind of a perfect long as well. And now we're kind of trading within these. So we still have 2 to catch up over on the SPY and 3 to catch up over on the QQQs. No guarantee that we hit these today. They're just good to use with confluence if we have downside targets, or longs if we do have reasons to be bullish. And then again, we were just saying as well that literal SPY play we were talking about literally showed you to the penny off that exact level we're looking at. Again, that's the over under. You had your confirmation. Don't know if it's in the screenshot. No, it's not. But again, your RSI was great confidence. All upsides here, so now downsides only. So again, provided more confidence on that short play that was created here, because your upside one's been hit on that move. So again, 2 reasons to enter as well, just off price off on those. And then yeah, kind of just showed you it playing out a bit more, and as we've gone through, it went down even lower. Then just putting up this. Okay, again, looking at that 0 line again. This is over on the Qs. How did it play out here? Scalp short into the to this 161. Again, we always talk about the 161 being the first target, so you should never lose money. That's a great pullback trade. You're taking a bit of profits there, and if you don't take all your profits, the rest stop at break even. So worst case, you stop that break even on that trade. Overall, a really nice pullback. And then talking about the golden pockets again, we talk about these all the time. I don't really post these as much anymore because it's just the same thing every single time. But again, came into golden pocket zone, massive short. Again, don't normally get this much of a reaction. This was just some sort of, I'm guessing some sort of algo or something running, or just some sort of big institutional seller, because there was just a massive sell-off kind of across everything. But again, could have got a nice long off this. That was about all we posted in the Discord for the day, because I kind of stopped focusing too much on it. But when you're seeing this, and I'll show you these side by side, that isn't a crazy candle if that's all you see, and that's where your 100 line is. So there's no reason really to buy there. It's not a crazy move. But go over to the NQs or the Qs, whatever one you prefer to trade. This is where the candle opened. This is where the candle went to a low. That's the low of news. This is going to be a great buying opportunity if it's sold off that much in 1 minute. Chances are you're going to get a nice bounce. That was nearly 100 points in 1 minute on the NQs. So that is a low probability bounce opportunity, and you can trade it back to the 50 line. Again, the news line, that's always going to be your first target, and if you want to run it higher, you run it to the news high, which it did. And if you want your final target, always going to be that fair value gap created there. So again, you would have had 3 great targets to use along the way, buying up here. So again, these are things to definitely note. These aren't really that predictable, and again, don't really have time to put these in chat because these are unexpected moves. So these ones I will never have in chat because by the time I post it, it'll be too late. But again, if you're seeing massive moves like this, again, you need to see, is there any reason for it to bounce? Again, if we got the S&P, go back to the S&P, here we go. Okay, we're on the previous day, there we go. Again, this move isn't big enough to kind of warrant a long. 100 points is definitely much more to warrant a long. So again, that is why we kind of chose that as a nice entry. Again, we use these as scalps. I would never really trade it on the futures. I would always look for it as an option trade because it's easier to manage risk, especially when you're not testing any, or you're not getting confirmation to retest on the RSI or the MACD. But overall, really nice trade. And again, at the same time, we're wiping out these gaps that we created, and that's really kind of basically done for the day. Nothing really too key for the rest of the day. Just be kind of, again, if we're kind of holding this level, potential longs to break highs. Again, to be honest, the lows I think are going to be nicer trades if we can kind of break and hold that 100 line. Breaking lows would be the much idealer plan because we have a lot of gaps to the downside still to fill, so that's more what I'd be looking at. But really, probably done for the day myself, so probably won't be taking any more trades for the rest of the day unless I happen to be at the desk as a trader setting up. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the trading recap. Hope to see you next one, and that's it. Peace.